people today. They could spend half their lives over 50. That's a lot of living. So it helps to have a wise friend and fierce defender in your corner. A friend like AARP. So your health lives longer.
This is just slow-mo karate?
Just slow-mo karate.
Your money lives longer.
I just bought that.
I just sold that.
And your happiness lives longer. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
Hello, my name is Teresa Collins, and I am an Executive Council member for AARP Illinois. AARP, a nonprofit, nonpartisan member organization, has been working to promote the health and well-being of older Americans for more than 60 years. AARP Illinois is proud to represent all those who are 50 plus in Illinois and our 1.7 million members. And we thank you for the opportunity to be your wise friend and fierce defender. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life for all as we age, leading positive social change and delivering value to members through advocacy, service, and information. At AARP, we know that staying fit is one of the pillars of healthy living, and we want to help you on your fitness journey. Physical activity can boost memory, improve thinking, and even lower dementia risk. It's not too late to start. AARP is proud to offer today's virtual event to start or continue you on your fitness journey. Have a wonderful class and enjoy.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. I'm Mark. I will be your instructor for the AARP and Senior Services Plus Balance and Flexibility Duo class. Today we will be going over a series of exercises that work on strength and balance and also flexibility. So we're going to go ahead and start off today working on some side reaches, just reaching off one side to the other, getting our shoulders and trunk warmed up. And from there, we're going to go ahead and get into some good mornings, reaching down to the ground and back up overhead. We're going to go ahead and give that a little bit of a rest. We're going to go ahead and also warm up our wrists and ankles. Just rolling the wrists and the ankles. We're going to go ahead and switch directions. And we'll go ahead and give that a little bit of a rest. We're going to go ahead from there and get into some yes nods. From there, we're going to go ahead and go ear to shoulder. And after those ear to shoulders, we're going to go ahead and turn our head side to side. After that, we're going to go ahead and get into our shoulder shrugs, rolling the shoulders back. Going to go ahead and roll our shoulders forward. And going to give those a rest. Next, we're going to go ahead and work on a seated kick out exercise. And we'll give those a bit of a rest. We're going to go ahead and get up out of our chair, and we're going to work on what I call gates. We're going to bring our leg up, out, and back around. Switch legs, bring our leg up, out, back around, and back through. Just alternating our feet. Working on our hip mobility and balance. We're going to go ahead and give that a bit of a rest. Next, we're going to work on some toe reaches, going side to side. Reaching down, trying to touch those toes each side. From there, going to go into working on some kickbacks, working with straight leg kickbacks. Giving those a rest. We're going to go ahead and work on some marching high knees. Just bringing our legs up nice and high. And we'll give that a break. Last but not least, for our warm-up, we're going to go ahead and work on some side kicks. And we're going to go ahead and switch our legs. Working on those straight legs, side kicks. And we'll go ahead and give that a bit of a break. First, we're going to go ahead and start off with our dumbbells in hand. And the first exercise we're going to work on is a bent over row. And we're going to give that a little bit of a break. Next, we're going to work on a standing good morning, holding on to our dumbbells. We're going to hinge forward in the hips, come right on back up, keeping my back nice and straight. Show you what I'm talking about from this side again. Nice, straight back, working on those hip hinges. And we'll give that a little bit of a break. Next, we're going to work on a reverse fly, keeping our arms nice and straight, flying out to the side. And we'll give that a little bit of a rest. Next, we're going to be working on a march and press. Opposite arm, opposite leg, pressing up overhead as we work on our marching. And we'll give that a little bit of a break. We're going to go ahead and work on some weighted calf raises. So just coming up onto our toes and then back down onto our heels. And we'll give that a bit of a break. Next, we're going to work on an RDL. So we're going to hinge forward in the hips, reaching down as low as we can, coming back on up. The goal here is to hinge in the hips, but not round the back. And we'll give that a little bit of a break. Next, we're going to be sitting back down in our chair. We're going to be working on what's called a Russian twist. We can either keep our feet on the ground and planted, keeping my back up off of the chair, but I'm going to be rotating back and forth with the dumbbells. Now, if this is too easy and you want to add more challenge, only if you want to add more challenge, do we lift up the feet, bringing them together and working on this just like so. We're going to go ahead, give that a little bit of a rest. We're going to work on a curl and a kick out. So I'm going to bring my one leg up while curling up with the opposite arm and switching legs. Giving that a rest. Next, we're going to go ahead and work on a seated overhead press. Now, if you can't press the dumbbells up overhead, you can just use your arms and just raise your hands overhead, or you can work on a bicep curl or a fly. Going to give those a little bit of a rest. Next, we'll be working on a dumbbell fly. And we'll go ahead and give those a bit of a rest. I'm going to go ahead and set down the dumbbells. And what we're going to work on next is a series of sit-to stands. We're going to shoot for 12 to 15 sit-to stands, anywhere in between there. And once we're done with those, we'll give those a break. Now we're going to go ahead and work into some balance and then flexibility exercises. Standing off to the side of the chair, bringing one leg up and just holding like so. And there's two variations to this one. We can bring one arm up and touch our nose and keep it in the hand on the chair. Or if you want to make it more challenging, we're going to go ahead and touch our toes, not our toes, our nose with each hand. We're going to go ahead and switch legs. And we'll give that a bit of a break. Next, we're just going to make small circles with one leg out in front of ourselves and keeping the other leg on the ground. Going to go ahead and switch legs. Again, making small circles, that individual singular leg. And we'll give that a little bit of a break. We're going to go ahead and start the stretching and cool down portion of this workout. I'm going to first start off with one of my personal favorites, the piriformis stretch. This one can be done with either your ankle crossed over your knee or crossing your ankle over your shin. Once we get to this point though, if we aren't getting enough of a stretch, we can actually add to it by hinging forward in the hips. That'll help loosen up the piriformis and low back. Gonna go ahead and switch legs. And again, if you aren't getting enough of a stretch, just hinge forward. Once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and get into a trunk stretching exercise. So I'm going to bring one hand down, grabbing a hold of my shin and turning my torso towards the sky. This hand up there, kind of like a seated warrior pose, stretching out that low back. And if this is too much for you, you can always do it a little bit higher. You might even get a better stretch there. I'm going to go ahead and switch arms. Giving that a rest. I'm going to go ahead and stretch out our neck. I'm going to just gently, and I mean very gently, pull the head off to the side. And as I do that, I'm actually trying to pull my head that direction as opposed to just straight down. I'm going to go ahead and switch sides. And we'll give that a bit of a break. Going to go ahead and stretch out the back of our shoulder by reaching right on across. And we'll switch arms. Giving that a rest. Last but not least, stretching out our quad. Getting that leg off to the side, holding onto the other side of the chair, and that stretch out. Going to go ahead and switch legs and sides. And we'll give that a break. And that concludes this session of Balance and Flexibility Duo brought to you by AARP and Senior Services Plus. Thank you for being here.